Oh? Ah. Yeah.
Boston comes all the way back to it. It's kind of weird because I want either Detroit or Boston to beat the Cardinals. Detroit has pitching like you wouldn't believe. They've got the best pitcher in the American League, Matt Scherzer. They've also got a guy by the name of Justin Verlander. You know, heard of him?
Yep.
Three-time Cy Young Award winner. The guy who killed Oakland twice. In a 5-game series, he gave up like 1 run in 2 games. This thing is sitting. I almost had to show you. I got the printer out, so the printer out receipt.
Mm-hmm.
Got a little bit of stuff stacked here on the box.
Yeah.
Then by my bed. He likes to get up there and just sit.
And he was sitting on top of it
All of a
today.
sudden he goes, and jumps down. I'm almost hoping that he's hallucinating and not seeing something crawling around in my room.
Yeah.
Is there something crawling around in my room now? All of a sudden I'm sitting there worried. Like, what the hell? And he's like, he's doing this, looking for something. Like, oh crap! I don't think I want to tell your mom about this.
Yeah.
She's not gonna want to sleep in there. It was probably a bug. We get those stink bugs
Yeah.
all the time because I think they get under our siding and they nest and they crawl into the cracks in the house. They're crawling in through the cracks in the frame. And they get up in your bedroom at all.
Every once in a while.
It's our bedroom now. It's like a couple times a week.
Yeah. So ignoring that complete non sequitur of a conversation, which you probably only heard half of anyway, this is Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages. And if you're wondering why it's GYRO, it's named after the sandwich. So think Hero. It is my firm belief that a game should speak for itself, so... There's a reason my thread is usually called Pokota Quietly Plays. Little bit of snark, but why didn't you give me the sword at first? Oh yeah, because you were possessed. Welcome to Labrina. This is Lina City. And this is probably where we'll be spending most of our downtime, is Vazu's ring shop. Blah 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 seeds. Does absolutely nothing, but it's good to wear. Go ahead and get this started too. Now, the rules that I'm playing by for this is I cannot pick up any heart containers at all, and I'm only allowed to pick up 2 specific heart pieces, the one that Maple drops and the one that comes out of the Gasha Trees. Whether that turns out to actually be feasible, we will see at the end of the first dungeon. I'll be playing Seasons the same way, but since A, I'm not as good at Seasons, and B, I'll be playing it as a linked game, I'm going to be allowed to have 4 hearts, which basically comes out to be the same thing, only because it's a linked game, it starts me out with 4 instead of 3. But that's if I end up doing Seasons, which I probably will, because it is a good game, I'm just not as good at it. And since it's combat-oriented anyway, it's going to be a bit more challenging. I am going to probably cheat in all of the rings, haven't decided yet. But I'm not going to do any of the item multiplying rings or the heart regenerating rings or anything like that. It would probably be more for the... Because I know there's the maple ring, which you would use that for when trying to get a specific part of the sword upgrade. And then beyond that, there is one specific ring that I would pick up because it reduces the damage that I take overall. That's that one... Because there's this one ring where it forces all of the damage you take to be exactly 1 hardened damage, which means I would be able to take exactly 3 hits before I would die. So I would probably cheat in all of the rings just to make sure I could have that. Yeah, I have to skip that art piece. As for on-screen rupee grinding, there's really not much point. Because, I mean, by the time you need rupees, you've got rupees. Hi, Fairy. Yeah, it would make Keese more dangerous. It would make a lot of the early enemies more dangerous, but it would make a lot of the late enemies less dangerous. Actually, it would only make one enemy less dangerous, but it would be nice to have a predictable amount of health. It would make falling a lot more dangerous, though. Can't push any of the blocks in this room until all the monsters are dead. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and get to the start of the first dungeon in this run, in this recording. I was originally going to stop there, but then I decided, no, that's not going to be much. So I'm going to fall right into the formula that I'll be following. Pre-dungeon, then dungeon. Pre-dungeon, dungeon, pre-dungeon, dungeon. You get the idea. Which means after Mermaid's Cave is going to be interesting, because I'm not sure if I'm going to consider that as part of dungeon or pre-dungeon. I need to go this way first. And a Gasha Tree spot. Can't get that one. Yep, this one. Now, Maple appears after you've killed so many monsters, which is why you generally see her after completing a dungeon. And I don't actually know what the cutoff is for a new maple shot and siding. All I know is that having the maple ring reduces that amount by a fair bit. And here we go, Spirit's Grave. Screw it, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. You are here. Okay, the Armos Knight is where we are. This torch is a secret room. This blue statue is a boss, is the mini boss. This blue statue is the boss. This torch is the essence room. To anyone who didn't know that from before. Let's see, we're gonna go this way, then this way. I don't even remember what ring this is. I want to say it's a power ring. Yeah, most of what you need rupees for in these games is appraising rings. Switch you to the shovel so I don't waste all my seeds. The Gasha Trees work in the same principle as Maple does. They grow based on how much killing you've done. And it's said that some of the spots are more effective than others, but I've never seen that to be the case. But then again, I generally stick to specific spots. Yeah, it's 20 rupees to appraise a ring, and we get a profit of 10 if we've already found the ring that we appraised. Speaking of gacha seeds, Gasha. Mini boss. Ghost Army. This guy's not hard, you just need to make sure that you don't get eaten! Like that. And that is a warp panel. It just sends me back and forth between the entrance. Now for a monster that you hardly ever see in this game, Gorillas. Which I can't help thinking that was supposed to be gorilla. I think this is the only time this happens in this entire game. This ring is specifically the Gasha ring. It lets you know when you're on a page with a Gasha spot, using that tone that we just heard because of the key sound. No point in getting the map because we've explored the entire dungeon. Boss fight. Guy with a pumpkin for a head. Lift the pumpkin, hit him with the pumpkin. Can't get that. And Essence of Time. Western Woods is this away, somewhere in this spot. Alright, well that was the first leg of Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages 3 Hearts. See y'all next time.